Alright guys, so I'm going to be using, this time I'm going to be putting Bona, or Drano should I say, and ferric sulfate on this white oak, and one without Drano. So let's go ahead and do what we got to do. We clean it up, get some sanding discs, make sure you don't got any glue or any wood filler, and clean it up. Alright, when you're finished with that, go ahead and wipe it off, make sure it's clean. And now we're gonna go ahead and put the Drano where I'm gonna go ahead and put it with ferric sulfate, and this is just gonna be ferric sulfate. Alright, so go ahead and get some Drano, pour in a cup, and you want to use a brush that's made out of nylon, because if you use anything that's made like this disposable brush, it will rot and it will destroy the brush. So if you're going to be using a big project or doing a big project, you don't want to deal with that. All right, and here's how it'll start looking. It's natural oak, okay, natural white oak, nothing fancy about it. With this, you want to go with the grain. I messed up right here, but you know, it's a quick sample. You could still get away with it if you go back over it a couple times and kill those lines. So this has this is going to go with Bona and ferric sulfate. Again, go with the drain or the green. All right, and that's it. Now let it dry out. You can go ahead and use a dryer to speed up the process if you want, or just leave it in the sun. All right, once you're done with that, get yourself some ferric sulfate. It could be in a powder form or a rock form. Put it in a cup of water and mix it up, okay, and it will turn like this. Okay, once you're ready and it's completely dissolved, go ahead and brush it on. I'm going to go ahead and brush the back side where it doesn't have Drano, just in case. And here you guys can see what this stuff does to white oak. It's a drastic change, and honestly a pretty fucking cool one. Alright, in fact it'll even stain right there from all those tannins that this wood has. And this is what I mean by cleaning up the glue. You guys, I don't know if you guys can see that right there, how it's yellow. Well, that's what I mean by that. Alright, now we're gonna go ahead and do the back side where we actually put the Drano on, and see how that comes out. So this stuff didn't get that dark, but we are gonna probably get a different finish. And I'm gonna go ahead and bring a piece of white oak that doesn't have anything, just so you guys can tell how it looks. So again, this has Drano and ferric sulfate, and this doesn't have any Drano. It just has pure ferric sulfate. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the sun and dry it out. All right guys, so here's how it looks. I'm actually pretty excited about this, how it's gonna look like once it's sealed up. So here is a regular white oak, no finish, hasn't even been sanded, it still has the glue from the carpenters. And here we have the color with Drano and ferric sulfate, and this is what we get here. Now that looks nice, and might even compare this once with the ammonia to see how that looks. And here you get different shades of browns, yellows, in fact you might even start getting some grays here. Now when we turn it around, just the ferric sulfate actually turned it blue. Now this is trippy right here. It's actually pretty wild here. So I mean, if you're looking for like blue wood that's white oak, a blue stain, this is it. So I'm gonna go ahead and seal it up and see how it looks. Again, I'm just using some regular Master Clear Supreme. You can go ahead and use some Deft lacquer, you know, polyurethane, whatever you want to use, doesn't really matter. This is just to seal it up and see how it looks. Again, go with the grain. All this can pretty much be ruined if you don't know how to actually brush or put on material. So full strokes. If you got to reduce your sealer to get a better finish, do that. You know, sometimes people think the heavier the coat, the better, and that's not it. It's actually depending on the surface material you're going to be using. You want to either go reducing it or putting it on thick. And you know, every environment and every project changes. So now the back side of it, again, go with the grain. Okay, you're gonna see that it widens up. Once it's dry, it'll come back to normal. And this typically just happens with the first coat only. Okay, put that to the side. All right, little quick tip: whenever you guys are doing any samples or anything that's small and even big stuff, you know, get yourself a good hair dryer. You know, you don't got to be this. It doesn't have to be this brand. It could be anything, but this is good stuff. So go ahead and dry it out. Alright guys, once this is finished, this is how it looks. So that right there, and by the way, this isn't completely sealed up, so you're gonna see all this. Realistically speaking, it'd be like 2 or 3 coats so I can get an even finish. I'm not really worried about that. I'm just trying to show you guys how the color would look like. So here's natural again. This is Drano with ferric sulfate. This color came out pretty good, but this color here, now that's crazy, right? Just what ferric sulfate can do. I mean, this is, you know, this is crazy right here. And by the way, this runs pretty deep. I mean, just look at how deep the ferric sulfate gets into the wood. But that's pretty much it. And here's how it looks with Douglas fir, right? The stuff that didn't get that much color, depending on the wood, this is what you'll get. All right guys, catch you guys later.